playing space is just shrinking right now. Stir 6, his dual partner Twix is alive. They find Sweet, who gets picked off.
I love the placement of that trap, though, and the quick reaction from Sweet to actually edit his cone in a certain way so he can make it out unscathed, but still. 4 duos remaining. 1 player drops behind. They're all the same skin for some reason, and Stystrix is going to be able to find him easily. So that duo down on low ground by themselves right now against 2 more players, Nujulian and Oxy right here.
And down below, Stystrix and Twix are the only duo left. They immediately shut down Oxy. They're like, 1 player's pushing us. Just let's cooperate. Let's shut this guy down. And now they're in a 2v1. Gooden here is going to have the fight of his life. And he's on the 64 points. We've seen a lot of players hovering in that range. This could make the difference if he can find both of these eliminations and the victory royale. 5 points could make the difference. He gets cracked, Bala, down to 23, 13. Oh my God! Oh my God! That was the sickest split knock I've ever seen!
That could have been the sickest split knock I've ever seen, because if he got that elimination and landed, he could have gotten the siphon and all of a sudden forced this into a 1v1 with HP advantage. But unfortunately going to go out into the zone, not able to control himself with the flint knock. Just like Zeke here, a little bit of excitement there from that play.
I'm melting in my chair. I'm just slowly sliding down. I'm trying to collect myself, Fortnite fan, but it's not working right now. Next game, 62 players, 34 duos, still sliding down. 85 points from Rojo and Wolfies? Okay, guys. All right, listen.
So they were slowing down when we last took a look at the standings when I was up there with you, Zeke. They were slowing down. They fell out of that first place. They're starting to creep down to that 6th, the 7th. We were talking about whether their games have been played yet, but climbing back in a strong fashion here. They've got 1 more game, and at 85 points, if they make this a big one, they could break 100 and almost guarantee themselves a spot to New York.
They have shifted gears, shifted.
Have VAR. This does have, a bigger clip in it. Yeah. Doing quite as much damage, but up in the top left right now, we're not only looking at the thresholds reaching top 25, but Mr. Savage goes down in this game. Not too consequential because he's already qualified for New York, but that's another hint that they're probably not going to be making it up there and taking those top 4 spots.
That's right. Don't forget they've qualified, which means right now they're playing for money, which is great. So you got to think they're trying to find eliminations. Den, Magic Pulse. By the way, someone tweeted at us. That means the magical sausage. You're welcome. The more you know. More shots coming out. He did not manage to crack that player's shields, but the shots were pretty on point, and he's, of course, 761 above the damage threshold for the Storm. There, Motor, for just a brief moment, peeks out, and Ollie finds and secures it.
I think he might have also hit Motor's teammate, Ferox.
I believe he did.
As he jumped out of that box, I'm looking at Wolfies and Rojo right now, carpeting their way towards the zone. They're going to go ahead and decide to launch pad. They use that tarp for a second just to get ahead of everybody else, make sure they're not going to, hit their heads and waste the launch pad effectively. But here, Benji using those chug splashes to immediately get back to max health, starting his turtle forward.
And the fish out of water here. I mean, the duel of these, we kind of, it's funny that you said we may not see them in top 10, but look at the point thresholds.
I know.
They said, look, Bala, we're Savage, we're Benji Fishy, bro. Don't put us out. By the way, four rounds in the AR, only 4.
And Zeke finds actually 2 players who didn't edit their box close. He's going to take out Black. And his teammate as well, Stoico, going down, and that's probably the end of their run in the World Cup.
Benji literally just said, Zeke, I don't care about these 4 AR rounds. Watch me pick up the double, and now I'm sitting on 300. Check me again, bro! I'm a fish out of water! I can breathe in fresh air! That was, in case you didn't see that was a thing at the summer block party, which made me laugh, by the way. Go back and watch those little interstitials. They're fantastic. That's what I was referencing. But 86 points over on Wolfsies and Rojo.
Yeah, and he's actually in trouble here as the Shadow Bomb. This player actually doesn't realize, though, he's going to take a nice shot onto Mawaka, as Wolfie's making his way forward. Rojo is split, but we've seen this situation before. Again, reaching towards that 90 points right now. One more elimination is going to do it, but Rojo goes down, and it's all up to Wolfie's right now.
All right, here we go. So Rojo gets picked up. But now, look, they've just hit that 90-point threshold. So let's think about this, right? If Wolfies could clutch it up by himself, he'd have to at least get the Victory Royale, which is another 7 points, and at least 3 eliminations. There's still 10 players. It's doable.
To get 100, is that what
to break the triple digits. Yeah, I want to see the 100. I want to see it because you know they want to see it too.
I mean, based on what scores I'm seeing already spread out throughout the map and the games that we've seen, I think he's already probably clinched it. But you know he's thinking, I have to perform the best I have ever done here. I have to win this game if I want to make it, because I don't have high ground. I don't have a teammate. I've got to do everything. I've got to take all this responsibility on my shoulder, all the pressure from all 10 weeks, and do it right now, Zeke.
That's right. And you got to think they're probably saying, like, just imagine this was you on the stage of the World Cup Finals, right? Imagine you're in that moment. Take everything, all the practice, the long hours you put and dedicated to this game, and focus it and hone it in right now. Wolfies, he's got 3 eliminations. Again, 94 points. If he could find 3 more eliminations, it's not enough. Confetti trades him out and shuts him down in that moment. And now it's coming down to this. It's a 2v1.
Confetti and Toos. It's kind of crazy because we started World Cup in week 1 in semifinals. Toos playing in solos, actually destroying the semifinals, and now here again, ending EU. Is he going to be able to pick up this win? It could propel them up to 71 points, but it's going to happen. Ollie goes down, almost makes a hero RPG play onto Confetti. My heart dropped for a second there, but that really could be, you know, a story from the start to the finish, Zeke.
Yeah. This is, I think, the only fitting thing now to do. I'm stressing out of my mind, but for now, let's send it into Pookie. She's in the studio. She's going to break down what's going on.
Thank you so much, Zeke. You know what? Go get yourself a sandwich. Go get a drink of water. Calm down. I was over there. You were stressing out for sure. I am joined here with Sundown. Those games are absolutely incredible. EU always putting on a show. Never disappointing. Speaking of that, don't want to bring up who's going to be disappointed or excited, but we got to look at the standings.
The final standings, the last 4 coming out of Europe. It's been so absurdly competitive, and let's take a look. Punch some tickets going through. Wolfies and Rojo taking the top spot. Stompy Tashinkin, Benji Fishy, and Mr. Savage don't know how to share. They're still hanging out. Had already qualified, so that means it shifts down. And we got Skype, Invato, Vorin, and Tux, and then Klusha in Singularity's Thomas HD taking up the spots, 1 point separating the difference, going through there. Saw it going down. I mean, this is nuts. So many players who we've seen. Klusha getting the double qualification going through. Shinken and Stompy not knowing how to stay off of the top. Huge runs from Sky and Vato, as well as Vorin and Tux. And then Wolfies and Rojo just dominating at the start of the day, kind of falling off, and everyone was saying, oh, can they stay up there? A huge last-minute surge, $20,000, a trip to New York City, Pooks. That's massive.
Congratulations to everyone who has qualified for World Cup Finals in New York in July. I cannot wait to meet all of you, but we have some business to get down to, Sundown.
Time to punch some tickets, right?
Yeah, we got to punch those tickets.
All right, let's get the top one right there. Congratulations, Wolfies and Rojo.
We got Skype and Vado coming out of the stream. Am I doing this one?
Yeah, you can get that one as well. Split it up 2 and 2, and then get Warren and Tux. Such a great job from Tux there. We saw a number of his plays. Warren as well clutching up in the end, and then rounding it out. Klusha, by the way, in Singularity. Thomas HD. Congratulations, all of you played so incredibly well. It was a great day to round it out. But again, hey, first of all, to even get to Sunday in Europe, it took 67 points in a victory royale. Like, if you were playing on Sunday, you're among the best of the best there, and just because your name isn't up here doesn't mean you're done. There's always going to be more to play for. There's always more there. And speaking of always more competitive Fortnite stuff, we recently actually just launched our own dedicated Twitter to all things competitive Fortnite. You know, let's just throw it on up there. Go ahead, give it a follow as well. It's twitter.com/FN competitive, and I mean, there's always a way to get involved. We're going to be highlighting plays, we'll be doing breakdowns, we'll be asking you who your favorite players are up there, so keep an eye on that. And then let's also see what is up on the social wall and what players had to say up there. Boom, right on up there, and then everyone saying welcome to Twitter on there. Let's go, people being excited about it, and look at that. I love the Sharks just slamming the like and the retweet button.
Nice. I love that. Cutest graphic I've seen on this wall thus far. Can we just talk about Evade Orange's tweet for a second? The only Twitter I need. Could not have said it better myself.
Well, he needs his own there to interact with it as well.
That's
but
true.
I mean,
you know, potato. That is what it is. But yeah, guys, if you're not following this Twitter already, please go and give it a follow. I'm following it. I know Sundown is. Tweet to us on there. We'll be replying to stuff all day today. But you know what? I feel as though, you know, we've seen a lot of games coming out of Europe today. You know, we've seen a lot of people, you know, punch their tickets. Congratulations to everybody so far. I cannot personally wait to get into the next set of games. So before we do that, we are going to go to a quick break. Do not go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll have more Fortnite action.
Let's fly out to the lobby. Let's fly out to the lobby. Let's fly out to the lobby to get your spots and nums. Burgers from dirt to munch. Tacos Royale with brunch. Red juices, a tasty treat for Lil Whip, Peely, and Pizza Pete. Let's slide out to the lobby to get your spots and nums. Let's slide out to the lobby to get your spots and nums.
What's up, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and today we are going to talk about the Tactical Assault Rifle and its addition to competitive play.
The Tactical Assault Rifle is probably one of the best additions to the game. It's a long-range weapon where you could save AR ammo if you have a drum gun.
Small bullet you can find everywhere, so it's a good weapon.
The Tactical AR is an uncommon, epic, and legendary weapon that utilizes light ammunition and has a high rate of fire. It does 22, 23, or 24 damage depending on rarity, has a pretty fast first shot accuracy timer, and a dope reloading animation. I mean, come on, just look at it. We've seen a lot of competitive players opt into using the Tactical Assault Rifle over the course of the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers. So let's hear from some of the players who qualified for the finals and get their thoughts on the TAC AR's addition to the game.
It's really good, like really good. Once you get to endgame scenarios like 5th zone and beyond, it absolutely beams. It's very viable in meta right now. Everybody's been using it.
I like it because you could actually sneak up on someone. It has this low sound, so it's hard to hear.
It has its viability due to its first shot accuracy that can make it really strong, and the fall off damage isn't as strong as it was for the silent SMG, which got vaulted.
I reckon the gun's awesome for endgame, because if you've got height, that gun can really get a lot of eliminations because it's like a laser, and people endgame tend to have less HP than they would towards the early and mid game, so I think it's really strong in situations.
Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on the Tactical Assault Rifle, and when do you like to use it? Send us your opinions using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and I'll see you on the battle bus, or maybe on the high ground with a TAC AR.
fam. Did I beat you in rock, paper, scissors? Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. I probably did because I'm really good at it. It's the only thing I'm good at ever. But, guys, we are knee-deep in the World Cup finals. Qualifier here for duos. It has been unbelievable. The European action has not disappointed. But, of course, we're getting ready to hop into more games. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Oceania replays because don't forget, Oceania and Asia happened overnight. So we're going to also look at Asia replays as well. I guess I should have said both. And then we're going to take a live look into Brazil, see how things are going for them. I need 2 casters on deck. Let's get Pookie Face. Let's get Sundown. Let's get into these games.
Thank you so much, Zeke. I'm joined here by the amazing Pookie Face, who has a great talent at ignoring high fives.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, she literally looked right at the camera and then right at me. But as Zeke just said, Oceania and Asia wrapped up last night. I stayed up and watched some of the games. I know most people didn't, but they were incredible. The last spots were there, and let's hop in, give these guys a little coverage, and celebrate just how awesome at Fortnite they are. Now, a fun fact about both these guys, 7 matches played total. That was all they ended up running through. So they were able to get the maximum amount of points through each one of them, not needing all 10. And as we talked about with the Breakaway Esports duo of Serpent and Hype, averaging a placement of 2.67 across those 7 games. That is ridiculous.
That is extremely high. Do you know what other teams are sitting at in terms of averages like that?
I mean, you really don't typically will see placements like that in a 10-game run. Like in overall, like we've seen people being those consistent in like over the course of 10 games.
Right.
But like in that spree, I think the closest we've seen is the Twins out of Oshi when they were playing more placement based and less aggro. I think they had one of the weeks up there where they were nearing 4, but sub 3 that's really, really, really good.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty incredible, like you said. And we see Hype just get the elimination on Pendragon, LOL there, just utilizing his edits there to quickly peek out, make sure that he's not leaving himself too exposed. Take a look at his partner, Serpent, who has got his own agenda of what he's doing over here. Looks like he's doing the same thing, but on the opposite side. So these guys just applying pressure all over the map.
Yeah, and one thing to note, it is a much sparser circle when you're in those very late games in terms of Oceania. Some players opting to play aggro, trying to get their games out there, will just go full send and try and burn through a couple towards the end to get into another one. But if you have good game management or the ability to just play consistently and ride it out, you can play this game all the way to conclusion and maybe snag what might be a slightly easier victory route for you if you're playing passive and defensive, which Serpent and Hype seem to have been doing so here with, I want to say, only 6 elims, but in comparison to the rest of the lobby, it's not a ton. It's good.
No, for sure. And to your point, kind of what you said about knowing, where your opponents are. Keep in mind that there's only 12 players left on this map right now, and only 7 duos remain. Make that 11 and 6. I spoke way too soon. Serpent secures another elimination there on Bray. But in terms of final circles, Sundown, this is not something that we see very often in these late games.
No, and it makes for interesting play because people can be more calculated, but normally you don't get as much room to operate. So now all of a sudden, Zank being in this 1-by-1 by himself, if certain Hype want to go pinch him, they absolutely will. They know this is a 2v1. They know there's no one else here, but Zank is now trying to get whatever opportunity he can to free up shots, knowing that the next elim that goes down is the top 5, and every single point matters, even if not for qualification, and then for the prize money, with the prize pool being doubled in weeks 9 and 10.
Yeah, and Zank making that quick decision to just use the launch pad, kind of get out of there. He saw that there were players rushing at him, decided to go up, get the high ground, which does end up working out for him because he lays down a 35 and a 71 shot on opponents down below. Breaks a baller, which is going to be bad news for that player. He isn't going to have that additional protection anymore. But he is just trying to fire shots kind of knocks or eliminations here to get that siphon because he doesn't actually have. And he does take out Jimmy, so that is certainly going to help him for any kind of future elimination.
Into the top 5, and Goobas actually ended up going down as well, so just getting the verticality being the difference there. Goes through, he edits down, has nothing. Was on the edge of it, but Hype is relentless on the high ground, and now they're going to start working the top down. When we started on board with them, they had 4 elims, now worked it all the way up to 8. There is 9 and 10, and they're looking to close this match out, and this is where every point matters. Getting the wall replaced, and Slaya goes down. Well done from Hyper Serpent. 11 elims in the victory royale.
Well done from them indeed. Now, unfortunate to see Slaya go down. I know that he is a favorite from a lot of people, but you know what? Second place, not too bad, Sundown.
No, it was a good effort, but like you said, once kind of those two get rolling, when they have the momentum, they are able to just run with it. We've seen it before in the semifinals, and when they finally converted it over, sometimes that's all it takes. If you're able to put the pieces together on the right day in the finals, that's what ends up mattering. Now we're on board here with Surf Junkie and Evanix.
And take a look at their loadout. They have right now 2 Rift to Goes, 2 Shadow Bombs. I'd be interested to see if they've split the Shadow Bombs. Duos will typically do that. You know, give 2 and 2.